All right, aloha, friends. Welcome to another episode of Game Time with the Goss. I'm Brian Gossett, and very excited for today's episode. Joined here with Timber Creek head football coach Marshall Williams. First off, thanks for hopping on, Marshall. During the season, and especially here in the playoffs, I'm just curious because I asked another coach this the other day. Do you have much time watching college football or NFL, or are you just focused in on the next week's opponent?
Uh, don't get a whole lot of time for NFL football. Um, I try to take care of myself and our staff as best I can on Saturdays. So, we get here early on Saturdays and take care of the kids and watch video with them. And um, it's a standard rule that we everybody has to be out of the field house by 2:30. So you gotta spend time with family and you gotta regroup and recharge for Sundays because Sundays are long days. But I'll catch a 2:30 game if I stay awake.
Timber Creek Falcons are 7-3, and they get the playoffs here by district round. 6A D1. They'll be traveling to Pennington Field 7:30 kickoff Friday against Euless Trinity. You guys finished off the season strong with five straight wins. Just kind of, what was the most impressive thing during that stretch from your team?
Well, this is the best summer we've ever had. It starts there. We had a great attendance all summer with guys who returned. We had a pretty young team last year, especially defensively. And the commitment really came in all summer with strength and conditioning program and our skill work. And we just try to space it out. And we had a really good fall camp. And so we had, multiple guys returning offensively at receiver. I mean, I'm sorry, we had Dozie as a comment returning, and then we had multiple quarterbacks and linemen and running backs. So we had a little bit of depth, and we started out 2-0, and we ran into a good Capel team that we didn't really get to finish that game. Um, it was a great test for us, and we knew we also had two really good opponents in the district play with South Lake and Byron. And our kids got kind of hit in the mouth a little bit. They answered the call, and we had a very timely bye week to see who we are and what we need to improve on. And our kids are really bought in. This is a close new group of kids. This is the closest group of kids that I've been a part of in my 4 years here. And they want to continue to try to make history with the mention of 5 games winning in a row, and that's never happened here. And to make the playoffs 2 years in a row, that's never happened here. And so our kids are driven to continue to do what they set out to do from the beginning of June.
Can you kind of talk about the senior group? How many seniors do you have, and what was their role as you were trying to finish the regular season strong?
Well, this is a senior class that when I showed up in the year of COVID, my first year coaching, first year head coaching, I'm the only head coach they know, and I have right around 30 seniors that you know they are a group of kids that have been through a lot from entering high school as freshmen in the year of COVID when things were just kind of crazy and weird. And, so there's a lot of schools out there that haven't really recovered from that. And our kids are very, driven kids that want to be really good. And I'm really proud of our senior class. I've been blessed to have a lot of senior classes that have been really good, especially my first year here. But this group, they're very unselfish, and there are multiple kids that have very big roles, and there's some kids that have smaller roles, but they're about winning, and that's what we're trying to do, and they're trying to become a legacy here at Timber Creek to basically put Timber Creek as where it should be as a standard that we've set for ourselves and for future classes to come through and continue to build on that. And I really feel that's what's motivating them is that winning takes care of a lot, and they've tasted that now for 5 weeks, and so they love it. They want to continue to do it.
You mentioned midway through the season, having faced state-ranked teams in 3 consecutive weeks with Coppell and Salt Lake and Byron. And I know that Coppell game uh, ended up taking a loss, but I think you guys only reached the third quarter or something like that. But
It was canceled at halftime, and it was the greatest lightning show I've ever seen in my life that night from my back porch. But yeah, it win, lose, draw, cancel doesn't really matter.
but yeah, I mean, looking at that Coppell game, Coppell now 10-0. Uh, just what did you see from your kids against Coppell in just one half of play?
Well, I feel like with a large amount of kids coming back on both sides of the ball, but still having some big holes to fill here and there, especially at the receiver position. I learned this as a young coach, being under great coaches, that if you really want to have a good push through district play, you need to scrimmage good people, right? And so, we scrimmage on to Lamar, which is a very athletic team, which is going to be up and coming. I think Coach Scaron does an unbelievable job. Rock Hill hit us in the mouth a year ago, and they're in a tough district, so they're going to be battle tested. And then Compel is Coach Wiley and his staff do an amazing job with those kids. So we knew that we had to be battle tested through non-district play to jump into the hardest part of our district play with Byron and Southlake. And so we knew it was going to be tough. And we knew that we had to continue to just stay the course and continue to build and build and build. And so when we faced Southlake, which was a great team, and we didn't play very well that day, and I take full responsibility of that. Well, our kids went back to work that Monday going to Byron, who was also a state ranked team, that if we're going to be where we want to be by getting in the playoffs and making a run, we have to play and raise our level of play. So that's going to happen and progressively happen for 5 weeks. 5 good teams, progressively getting harder and harder and harder. Well-coached teams that are super athletic, good size, and so that we could sit there and not really push the reset button, but go through our bye week and go, this is who we are. These are the kids that are being productive. These are the kids. This is what we're good at, and let's trim the fat a little bit on that, and let's focus on what we're good and build. And the most important thing too is that we're trying to stay as healthy as we can. And I've taken a step back this year with the amount of time we practice and try to shorten practice and try to save legs and really focus on the health of our football team, because 2 years prior we got into week 7, week 8, week 9, and we were just beat up. And so we're trying to do a better job of that.
Talking with Marshall Williams, head football coach, Timber Creek High School. Like you said, 2 years in a row making the playoffs now. Last year you finished the regular season 4-6. Looking at both schedules, I think Rock Hill, Eaton, and Keller are the teams you beat this year, where you lost last year. Which one of those three, were you the happiest with sort of the turnaround?
Well, I do a poor job of celebrating victories. I should do it more. It was good to bounce back in a Rock Hill game that we played poorly back in a year ago, and we had never beaten Keller, and so one of our first goals of the season is to be Keller champions, right? It's to be Keller champions and to really try to push where we stand in our community. So that was a new goal that we set this year. So that was a big victory. I'm a good friends with Coach Strela. He does a great job, and of course that game came down to the wire again. Very entertaining, and I've been over as a head coach versus the Eaton Eagles, and so I don't want to say that one meant more than the other, but they were all very important for our teams to really get confidence and catapult and finish the season right.
Yeah, you guys you got 7 wins this year, which is tied for most in a single season for Timber Creek. Um, if you could only pick one, I don't know if you're going to pick one, but you got the 7 wins, you got being Keller champs, or you got playoff bound. Which do you like most?
Um, I think just being Keller champs is really important to us because it's the first goal. And you know, having 7 wins in a regular season is really important. That's awesome. And I just want to know, like, this is all player led. This the credit goes to the players. I'm really proud of this coaching staff, and I'm really blessed to have amazing support from our administration in our school. But this is player driven, and um, that was something that became very important to them back in July when I posted that in the locker room. It's as big as it can be in our locker room about being color champions, and our kids really bought into that. So, and going to the playoffs is important. I mean, winning in Texas is hard. I don't care what any level. To win on a Friday night is hard, and we have more wins this year than we've had, or we've at least tied it in school history. So that's important. But Keller Champs is important to us, and I'm going to say it's important to me because that's what's driving our kids.
Again, by district round starts on Friday for you guys, 7:30 at Pennington against Euless Trinity. Uh, a familiar face on the other sideline with Aaron Lineweaver, where you guys are on the staff at Salt Lake for a couple years. Just what do you remember sharing the sideline with him?
Well, it's funny. We didn't really share a sideline. We shared a press box.
Yeah.
And so I think Aaron, prior to being in the press box with me, he's on the defense side, I was on the offense side. I think Aaron was on the sideline for a long time because he is as good a D-line coach and defensive coach that you'll find. Gets kids to play hard. He's one of my good friends. It's awesome that he has the opportunity to lead the Trinity Trojans, with his father's legacy. So that's really cool. His father's a great man too that I respect and care for dearly. He's an awesome person, and they're a great family. But to share the practice field with him on a daily basis and to be in the coach's office was just it was fun every day. And I think that's why he's doing a great job of getting the Trojans to be playing Trojan football. Is because he comes to work every day. He's excitable. He loves and cares for kids, and he's a good friend of mine, and he was great in the press box too. Because I would be pretty wound up a lot of times, and he could kind of calm me down. And but he's a really good coach, and he's a really good man, and I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for this opportunity to play him and play a really good Trinity team.
Has there been any texting back and forth?
Oh, constantly. It's comical. He's a really good coach, and when it's game time or practice time, he's locked in. But away from football, he's a great guy to share a text with and have a conversation with because he's funny. He's a funny guy that can light up a room and makes my day every day. He's hard to get on the phone sometimes though.
I mean, most people know that Trinity, when it comes to Trinity, it's the run first. Seems like they are passing a lot more than they've had in recent years. But kind of what's the kind of the game plan here as you get ready for them?
Well, they're as big as they've ever been. I went and watched them in person, and they look like Trinity High, and they look like the Trinity Trojans for the last 20 years, and they're big and they're physical. They do have a very good skill set offensively. They have very capable receivers. Their quarterback's very athletic, got a strong arm, and they're very big up front. And they got 2 or 3 running backs that can take it the distance at any time. So they're going to run. They're going to run the football, and they're going to control the game or want to control the game through the run. I want to give credit to my defense coordinator, Austin Kane. He's been with me now. This is his 3rd year, and he has done an unbelievable job by getting our kids to buy into his system and to play really fast and play physical. We're not the biggest bunch defensively, but we do run well, and we do read keys well. So, to stop the run is big. It's a very big part of our game plan. But we know that they're very capable of throwing the football. The quarterback is a really good athlete. He's got a big arm and runs that offense very well.
And I mean, what's going to be the message to your kids?
Well, this is just an unbelievable opportunity. And our message this week is that we have played really good football at times. And we're on a 5-game winning streak, and we've progressively gotten better throughout the year. We're not really worried about our opponents as far as like comparing, who this team's playing and this team playing and compare all that stuff. The game of football is about matchups, right? So we're not so concerned about, hey, we're playing the Trinity Trojans. We're more concerned about peaking at the right time. And that's a message that I've had since the summer, and when we started out 2-0, and then we went to Capel and through the juggernaut of Capel, Carroll, and Byron, we showed signs of playing really, really well. And then, like I said, we hit the bye week at a really crucial time. And from that point, we have been very, very adamant about improving. And so we have thrown a lot. We have ran the ball effectively. We've played great defense. We've done all that kind of stuff, but we've only had about a few games like the Eaton game, like a Lamar game at the very beginning of the year. We've had situations throughout the year where we are playing really good football on all phases, but we have not, in my eyes, and I don't think in these kids' eyes, feel like we've played our best football. And so now is the time that we have to play our best football. And so we're really focused on the last 4 or 5 weeks of just trying to improve every single day, and to make sure that when we go play the Trinity Trojans or whoever, that we're playing our very best football. And so I kept on talking about early in the year, we don't have to worry about peaking right now. We don't have to worry about peaking right now. Well, now we do. It's playoff football time in the state of Texas. And we're right here in the heart of the Metroplex, which I believe is the best high school football in the country, especially at the 6A level. And so we don't have time now to sit there and go, well, we'll peak in week 3 of the playoffs. We don't have time for that. We got to peak now. And so that's been our message this week. And Trinity is a great opponent with a great history, and it's a great opportunity for us. Like we're excited about that opportunity.
Awesome job. Well, we appreciate the time, Marshall, and great season so far, and best of luck there on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Timber Creek at Utis Trinity at Pennington Field, 7:30 Friday to start the playoffs. He's Marshall Williams, head football coach with Timber Creek, and I'm Brian Gossett. Game time with the Goss. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.